All right. Thank you, Lord Jesus. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in his thing, baby, representing TKOG. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update on my take on DRYTRONs for the new format. I have been testing this list, and then I decided to take it to locals today before I take another deck, because I normally try to rotate and not play the same deck more than once at locals. I took it today. I finished X-1, losing to actually an anti-spell with an Oviraptor, which was one of the most simplified game states ever, but anti-spell beat my hand, and it was really unfortunate. So I finished X1. I played against dinosaurs, heroes, Dragon Link, and I also played against, dang, what was the other deck? It was Dinos, Dragon Links, Heroes, and, oh yeah, Mega Knight Orcus. It was some really good matches. There's some really fun decks. Honestly, it's a fun locals, really friendly players, good sportsmanship, and also naturally just there's quite a few good players there. Yeah, so like I said, finished X1 conveniently out of the packs I got, even though I only finished 5th place, because there's so many X1s today, it's crazy. I got the Starlight, the Starlight Stardust Dragon, which was like huge plus. So honestly, I'd rather get this than get 1st place, because if I didn't get 5th, I wouldn't have got this, because it was the paths that they had for 5th place that ended up having this. So I won. That's how I see it in my eyes. And if you guys like this content and you haven't done so already, I highly recommend subscribing to my channel. Hit the notification bell if you already are subscribed. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. And also consider supporting me on Patreon and or becoming a member of my Discord. All that stuff is appreciated, and believe me when I say I give back to those who give to me. It's always appreciated. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the list, because this deck is pretty insane. And I will say, to the 40 card copy paste kind of mindset, if you're just here for like a 40 card deck with the exact same ratios as everybody, then you really don't need to watch another deck profile, because if you've seen one, you've seen it all. So I do have a completely different spin for my my DRYTRON Herald list, and I'm not playing exactly 40 cards. So those are some things that might make people click a dislike or leave the video. But like I said, again, if you're here to see the same stuff you're already used to be seeing, then what's the point of even watching the video if you're not going to learn anything or see anything that you haven't already seen? So yeah, you guys, I'm actually going to start with my going second cards instead of my consistency cards and starters, because it's really important that you guys know, even though I don't play more than just 3 hand traps, my deck is more than capable of going second and breaking boards. And every board I broke today was more than likely with my engine cards. I think there was like, one time? Yeah, there was like 1, maybe 2 times. I think it was just 1 time when I broke a board with non-engine cards. I have the duels recorded. I'm going to be uploading those as well, just kind of scattering them throughout the week, so I don't just upload 4 or 5 videos in one day. I just feel like that's just not going to get a lot of views, because people normally just take it little by little. But yeah, here are my going second cards, and this is why this deck is really insane going first and going second, because this engine can just break boards, and you make the best board that right now in the game. Like, it's the most broken tier 1 board. So we have 3 copies of Diviner. This is both a starter and also a going second card inherently. If I opened this against the Oviraptor anti-spell board, I would have outed it, but I didn't open the Diviner, which sucks. But yeah, this card outs Floodgates. This card forces, negates. It card puts a lot of pressure into established boards. It's good against so many different decks. It's a very well-rounded and powerful card. It's just an amazing card. And honestly, even when this card gets hand-trapped, because I play the Megalith cards, and the Megalith cards allow me to get an extra level 6 and then summon Idaten, so I could still make Beatrice even if this gets imperm, because this card did get hand-trapped quite a few times today. This card got hit, and my Zeta and my Benton all in the same turn, and I was still able to at least make a Dragoon. But yeah, Diviner, really, really good card going first and going second. For more going second cards that also conveniently are combo pieces, is Double Extra Foolish. This card's more flexible than Preparation of Rites. It's a lot more powerful as well. And what's cool about cards like this in Prep is when your main combo, it is correct to hand trap the DRYTRONs and not the cards that search them. It's really bad to like Ash Novas and Emergencies and stuff. But like when the DRYTRONs get hand trapped, cards like the extra Diviner and Prep can help you to play through them, because essentially like all the DRYTRONs do outside of summoning themselves is search cards that you already play other searchers for. Like a prime example is when Alpha gets ashed and you have a preparation of rights or an extra, you can just use that to search what Alpha was going to search, and then you could still do your Zeta to tribute that, and you can actually combo through that hand trap completely and in on the same board. It's really, really strong. So because I played like all the extra searchers outside of the main DRYTRONs that search them, it helps you to push going second as well. So these are just more than just going second cards. These also let you play through hand traps. And then I played 3 orange lights. Even though Eva's at 1, I like opening this card. I play a good amount of fairies. This card's really, really strong. I use this to beat Gamma. This card beats Droll. You beat Nib with this. This card hits any hand trap that can end your turn. The other ones, you just let them resolve. I searched this card on like my first search and then just hit the Droll. The card's just really, really powerful. I just love this card at 3. It's the only hand trap to actually play because it's a part of my engine and it's a combo piece. Like, it's not literally a combo piece when you think about it. It's just like something that you search off of Eva. This card also lets you play around Droll. I mean, not Droll, Dark Ruler and Droplets. Every time I normally like think of something, it's always Droll because like I hate that card so much. And it's like the best hand trap against this deck, but also this is like one of the few decks that it's Achilles' heel. It actually has outs in the main deck to that card, so you don't even have to side to beat Droll, and you can always still make Dragoon. And then the Eva's just here with the orange eye as part of the package. And then I also played 3 droplets, 2 talents, a called by, and then I also played the Dragoon package. This is to help me to beat hand traps and to beat Droll, and going second, it's insane. It worked out really, really good today. Actually, like, honestly, all together, it really just overperformed. Like, every board I had with the Dragoon, the only time it got broke once today was against Heroes when he super polyed me, but I ended up beating him anyways. He super polyed me. I negated his Fusion Destiny. He chained Chalice. I used Megalith Full to tribute Ultimateness to Ritual Summon the Bathor, and that dodged the Chalice so that the Fusion Destiny would be negated and I resolved Eva because I didn't have any other fairies in hand. So he almost broke the board. That was like the only time Dragoon even got pressured with my inboard. But yeah, these are all going second cards, and the beauty of them is they all have almost the same utility going first because they help to push through negates, but they also help to push through hand traps. Like droplets is just like an interruption that you just draw going first, but going second, you can droplets to dodge targeting effects. I mean, the card's just so flexible. And Talents is honestly really, really high-key broken. This card's insane going first. It's insane going second. Like, this is a better going second card than hand traps. People really just discredit cards like these because they feel like they have to play hand traps or they just die. But these cards are a lot better. They overperform more than a silly Ash or a Veiler or an Infinite Impermanence. Like, these cards just hold more value, and Talents' ceiling going first is arguably just as good as its ceiling going second. Cards are just amazing. Same with Called By, hitting cards like Seal going second, because I did play Dragon Link today. Yeah, so these are all my going second cards, but also a lot of them are also going first cards. So yeah, that's really, really cool when you have that flexibility that your going second cards are also going first cards. The Dragoon package is just really worth it. Even with your weaker hands, like I had a weaker hand where I just had the 2-card combo. I got hit with Ash and Imperm, and I ended on Dragoon against Mech Knight Orcus, and it still won me the game. Continuing on now with the best cards in your deck, we have 3 copies of Alpha Thubin, 3 copies of Zeta, 2 copies of Gamma. I was really close to playing 3. I think moving forward, it's just going to be better for me to play 3 of all these. I might just start maxing out on all the names, because it's better to draw these than the cards that search them. It not only helps you to play through hand traps better and cards like Droll, but freaking anti-spell and Imperial Order, dude. Like, seriously. So I really am probably going to toy around with 3 Gamma and 3 Delta, because what makes this deck really pop is when you draw names. You can draw every part of your deck, but without names, you can't do anything. You can draw all the the blue cards and, you know, all the searchers like the Diviner and everything, but you can't really play DRYTRONs. But you can try DRYTRONs in none of the other cards, and you can search everything else out. And this also might come as a surprise, but I am also playing Beta Rasta. This card's way better than people give it credit for. Like, people sleep on a 5th name. That card comes up a lot. Not only as a 5th name, its effect to recycle the cards that you banish with your big boss monster, your Draconids. And again, just having an extra name to activate, because when these cards get ashed and belled and meistered and stuff like that, you need at least 2 DRYTRON names to hit the field. So when you have these and then your other searchers, like, this card inherently plays through hand traps. It's very, very discredited for what it's worth, and most people just don't play it at all. And honestly, I would never cut this card. It's just so good. Like, it's way better than, like I said, it's way better than people give it credit for. So yeah, we're playing right now. We're just playing the 11 names, but it's definitely going to go up to 13 names because I think it is correct to open up names as opposed to the cards that search them. It just beats interruptions better, and you lose less the floodgates. So honestly, moving forward, I'm going to test that, and I don't think I'll regret it. Like, I might have to find a way to keep the searchers too, because the thing is, like, with open the searchers as opposed to names, at least the searchers let you pick what name you have. But when you open a name, it's kind of like you're just stuck with that name, and you have to make it work. But there's so many 2-card combos that I even shown to you guys in my how to combo with bad hands videos in DRYTRONs, where if you draw any name plus something that searches Benton, you can end on a really insane field. And then, speaking of the searchers, I don't play 40, so I'm to max consistency. I played 3 Fafnir. I will say, as insane as this card is, giving you protection from your ritual spells, like, the most pivotal, like, choke points with your ritual spell interactions is mainly its effect to add from grave to hand, and also if people go spell the activation, which is pretty huge. But it's like a mediocre kind of thing that can easily be overlooked because it doesn't seem like it would come up, but it does come up. Preventing them from actually being able to, like, stop it with Ghost Spell and Skullmeister is really, really important because your ritual spell is honestly one of the most powerful cards in your deck, and it's what really makes your combos even go off the way that they go off. Without being able to summon blue cards and ritual summon in general, there's not a lot that you can do in this deck. It is very ritual focused. So yeah, I like this field spell a lot. I really do. This also helps you to play through hand traps because if your Zeta gets hand trapped, you can use this to search the ritual spell anyway. So this inherently is like a call by the grave. I really like it. And then this card's insane. There's like a lot of broken cards in this deck. So if you hear me saying this card's insane a lot, just understand that it really is insane. Like, Nova's insane. Fafnir's insane because it searches Nova. I think Nova's better, and like Fafnir plays into more like hand traps like Droll, and it's obviously not going to be ideal against anti-spell, but the card is crazy. Like, it's really, really good. Pull siding, you just kind of like side 2 of these out if you need to. You always want to keep 1 because it's really, really good for utility. And then we have 3 copies of Emergency. Again, they just search the best cards in your deck. So yeah, they're all insane because the DRYTRON cards are really insane. And then we have 1 copy of Foolish. This card is so clutch. Like, this card is just very, very clutch. It's not only a name, but there's times I'll dump a ritual and then just ritual summon that from the grave. Heck, I was in top deck mode against Mekk-Knight Orcus, drew this, dumped Eva, added Diviner and Orange Light. I was able to push while still having protection. It was really, really good. This card can just be so clutch. It can literally just be like a missing piece to whatever you didn't have in your hand already. So Foolish is just too good to not play. And then I'm playing 2 copies. Stop! I'm playing 2 copies of Prep. Prep is not really, like, it's not like that it's bad, but I really don't think that this card is as good as Extra. That I just played 2 and 2 because I still wanted the consistency like that you get from 3 preps, but you have 4 preps, but like 2 of them are better. Like, I do think Extra Foolish is better than Prep. Just for the simple fact that it not only is it going second card, but it lets you search out all the stuff that your DRYTRONs and your Diviner would search because you just dump Arclight. You get your Ritual Spell if you didn't have it, or you just get the Fool or the Ida 10, whatever your hand was missing. So I don't think that Prep is as good. I honestly might go to 3, but 3 extra, but the reason why I play 2 Prep, 2 extra is because I hate drawing multiple extra. Because unlike DRYTRON Nova, like where you know you can activate it next turn, I'm not about to pay half my life points twice. Not in this deck. And then finally, this card is also very cracked. 2 copies of Meteonis. The second one comes up a lot more than you guys think. Honestly, I do think that it's correct to just play 2. This card's so insane. Like, this card is the best ritual spell in the game, honestly. It's just so broken. Like, Meteonis in tandem with Mu Beta. This is like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't even know what they were thinking when they printed these cards. Like, when whoever made the DRYTRON cards, and they're like, yeah, this is okay. Like, nah, you guys are tripping. But continuing on, we have 2 copies of Full. So this is another engine that people just don't play. And I understand why some people don't, but also at the same time, it would never make sense for anyone to say, I don't play these because they're bad, because they're not bad. The only reason why it would make sense for me if people not play it is just for space, so that they can have space for different cards. But these cards give you so much utility. You can actually push through hand traps a lot better with Fool, because the thing is, like, where you would normally summon Idaten, you summon the Fool. So what does that do? It gives you an additional disruption, which is insane. It ends turns by itself. Baither for 4 and 5. Just too good right now, especially with Trap Eldritch being so popular and all these control decks running around. This gives you an extra disruption. Like, it's just insane. But also, because it triggers Benton a second time before you summon Idaten. So, like, that's one of the huge points right there, like, where you guys really cannot undervalue Fool, because in the instances where you would just summon the Idaten, you get to trigger Benton and then summon Idaten, which means, oh my goodness, if you already had something, like, if you already had something that searches Idaten, this just gets you Orange Light on top of that. And plus, it's another level 6, which does come up, believe it or not. People really, again, undervalue this card, because when Diviner gets hand trapped, it does not become a level 6, so you can't make Beatrice. But when you summon this, add back Benton, this is another level 6, then you go summon Ophiel, and then you search Idaten, then you put that on field, then you have 2 level 6s, even though Diviner got hand trapped. So, like, if you don't play through these cards, if you don't play these cards, you can't, those hands were like, that are really good, you can't play through that instance of Diviner getting hand trapped, because people hold their hand traps for Diviner and they hold it for Mew Beta more often than they'll hand trap your DRYTRON names. Because if they hand trap your DRYTRON names and you're still able to combo and you go Mew Beta, it's even worse, because they're down a few cards. You're still going to make Dragoon. You're still going to get Orange Lights and possibly an Ultimateness. So yeah, these cards are nuts. One of the other cool interactions that I love about Megalith Fool is that every turn on your follow-ups, you can summon Fool from grave, use it to add Baithor from grave to hand after you used it once, and then just literally just summon Baithor every turn. Because, like, this gains Baithor's level, and when he ritual summons, it's any monsters from your hand or your field, so you literally just go full add back and then full summon, and then go Baithor. You can pop like 6, 7. It's crazy. Like, it's so crazy. Like, that alone is just nuts against all those purple card decks, all those decks full of trap cards. When you can consistently pop 6 to 7 cards every turn, this card's insane. It's just way too good. It even came up today against Mekk-Knight Orcus when I was going second, and he had 4 back rows, and I knew one of them was Torrential because he Prosperity for 1, and he let me get really far. I think he was trying to get a fat Torrential. I went full, and instead of going for using Ophiel to search another Full, I went full for Ophiel. He let it resolve. I added Baithor, and then I used Full, and then he cracked down. So I forced another interruption, and I was able to actually just keep playing. It was insane. Like, this card's so good. And on top of that, it came up today when my Herald Ultimateness got Forbidden Chalice. I didn't have any other fairies in hand, so I chained Full, tributed Ultimateness, and then summoned the Baithor from deck. And then the Herald resolved because he wasn't under Chalice anymore. And this also came up against Mekk-Knight Orcus to hit their... I hit 2 back rows, and I hit the Galatea. Like, this card's just crazy. Like, you can say, oh, for space, but no one can ever say that the Megalith cards are bad, because they're honestly insane. Like, they're just way too good. They make my deck way better, and having that extra disruption to end on, just broken. Like, when you end on Dragoon, Ultimateness, IP Masquerena, and Fool, you have IP in the Appaloosa, you have a pop for 5, so that's... Popping 5 is like multiple interruptions by itself. You have 3 to 4 negates off Ultimateness, an additional negate off Dragoon. That board just can't be broken without like Dark Ruler droplets. It's just way too strong. So yeah, continue with the blue cards. This is just the standard lineup that you're going to see in like every profile. Like, these cards are... I only Natasha'd somebody once today. But these cards just, again, this is one of the reasons why this deck is so scary. In time and going second. Like, somebody scooped just because he saw Natasha in my grave and he knew I could keep playing. He's like, why even waste time? Like, this deck's really, really broken. Like, it's tier 1 for sure. And then Draco Nids. This card is... Whew. Dude, there's just so many cards in this deck that are broken that I just... It's just too good. This deck is OP. It really is. And it's very, very fun. I love Rituals. They're my favorite summoning mechanic. And this is the best deck to play Rituals in. Like, you get the highest ceiling in a Ritual deck ever. Like, it's higher than, you know, the... Incantations. It really is. Like, and this card is phenomenal. Going second, it's just like a UCT. It's a disruption you can end on. It's really, really good. It's really good. Extra deck is just Arclights, Elder, Dragoon, double beta. Yes, yes, yes. 2. This card is nuts. Some combo sequences, when you have weird hands, you have to summon one, and then you have to actually tribute it off, and then summon the second one, then use that one to ritual summon. Yep. So it's really important to play 2. Downered into the Zeus that I borrowed today. I borrowed Zeus. I don't own one right now. It's supposed to have been coming in the mail like 5 or 6 months ago, but we have the one Beatrice. This card is like, I don't even dump Eva. Oh yeah, that's another thing that you guys should know about how I play DRYTRONs. I don't dump Eva off Beatrice ever. I always search Eva. It's better to have Eva in hand than it is to send it off Beatrice. Because especially in hands when you don't end in like a 1 or no fairies at all, the Beatrice is even more susceptible and your board's more susceptible. But the other thing is like, if you hold Eva, search it instead, you have 3 negates instead of 2. So I don't know why people dump Eva. Like, I guess when it was at 2, people just like did it. But for me, because you only can resolve Eva once a duel anyways, like I'd rather just search it and then dump it. So a lot of times I actually use Beatrice to dump another DRYTRON, or I'll dump Herald of Ultimateness off of her. So that way I can use Benton to search Eva instead of searching Ultimateness, and I just summon Ultimateness from grave. So yeah, this card's really nice, and I can make a list on all the cards that she just dumps to make her like a floodgate / disruptions by herself. Link Kribo, IP. My Verde Anaconda is actually here in my Shadal extra deck. I put it back, but I played Verde today, obviously, because I played Dragoon. I just put it back where it belongs in my Shadal extra deck. So Link Kribo, IP, Unicorn. I only summoned this once. Oh yeah, that's what I did. So I summoned it against Dragon Link. He ended on an insane field. He hand looped me for 1. He ended on tidying Seal with the hot red. And what happened was he ended up hot redding me, and then I talents to take his Seal. He didn't chain Seal. So I just took Seal, I activated Nova, I made Unicorn, I shuffled his tidying, put back the Unicorn, and I took all his disruption. So basically the only disruption I actually had to play into was the hot red. And then the talents and the Nova literally took his Seal and his tidying. So that was like the only time I summoned Unicorn today, and it was insane. I did not summon Appaloosa or Borosaur today, but I think this is better than Access Code in this deck because it just ends games faster. It's just better. Yeah, Appaloosa would have came up in hands where like you can't make Ultimateness. You'll just go Appaloosa and Dragoon. Sometimes you'll even get Appaloosa, Verde Anaconda, and Dragoon, which is still good enough when you have Megalith full on top of that. But yep, that's going to round up the deck profile. Let me know how you guys think, how I did in the comment section below. Go ahead and tell me how I did, what I can do to improve. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content, and I will be dueling with Shadals next time I go. Either that or Plunder. So you guys will have more content coming from me. Peace.